The Chaz, welcome to the Dynasty Diner, dude. Inaugural episode. We're doing these every Wednesday during the off season until literally the start of the regular season. You excited?
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for having me on once again. Back in the regular slot. I love that we're notifying it as the Dynasty Diner. I know obviously we're in the off season now, and there's a lot of moves that need to be made. There's a lot of guys that are volatile going into next year, and we're going to be going over those kind of guys here today.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning into the show first time, every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Central, Dynasty Diner, talking all things Dynasty. The difference in this show, Chaz, is that it's all pretty much chat driven. So we react to your comments in real time. You give us your questions, your concerns, your trade values, all those kind of things. And that's what we do around here. And why the hell not? Who else is doing this kind of shit? Maybe there's other people, not as knowledgeable as us. Chaz, you play multiple Dynasty leagues. How long have you been playing Dynasty now? And you're a young man, but like what, 5 years?
It's gonna be my fourth year. I've done this. So I mean, I've learned a lot. So just hopefully I can help you guys out from making the same mistakes that I did early on in my Dynasty career. If you guys are planning on getting into something like that.
So I sent you a pretty weird picture. So to make up for the picture, it was a picture of me wearing my wife's bikini, just the top at least. It wasn't the bikini bottom. Anyway, I take weird pictures, and just to make up for that, here you go, Chaz.
Welcome to the Professional Fanatics live stream. That's one way to kick it off.
Is that better?
Way better than the picture that you did send me, because I don't even know. I don't know what the hell is going on with that picture that you sent me earlier.
It was pretty gay, bro.
Your hands are what makes it possible. Your shoulder pads are hard and stiff. Your hands are tender and they can move and caress the ball. that's kind of gay, but hey.
All right, so we're going to get to all the questions later on. Keep on pumping them in there whenever everyone gets on. We have a segment called Dynasty Wildcards, 5 names each. The way I phrase it to you, Chaz, is guys that value could be tanked or go way up based on stuff that's going to happen in free agency and the draft, right? So, a example would be a running back that's a starting running back, but if they draft someone in the second round, tanked value. On the contrary of that is if it's a guy that slated to be a starter like Jalen Warren, for instance, and they don't bring anyone in and they get rid of Kenneth Gainwell, he's going to go up a little bit. So Dynasty Wildcards. That's the segment. And
so Frank is the brains and you're just the looks now?
And I'm still the wild card,
no.
So that's good.
No. Guys, we're forsaking the group dynamic, okay? And truthfully, Charlie, come on. I mean, nobody wants a wild card, okay? It doesn't make any sense. We don't want a maniac in our group, but there's no benefit to it. I feel like you just agreed with me, but you weren't listening to what I was saying.
Yes. You pointed at me like I said something, but I didn't.
Is he listening to it? I can't tell.
He's listening. He's not understanding.
Yeah, he doesn't even get us, man. We're talking about you.
He doesn't even get us, man. All right. Who's your first Dynasty wildcard, Chaz? I went off Fantasy Pros Dynasty rankings personally.
My first one, I think this is a player that, obviously, if this doesn't happen, I think he's going to drop just a little bit. But if it does happen, if this thing that he needs, it does happen, he's going to rise a lot. I'm going to go Devontae Smith. If we see A.J. Brown get moved out of there, I think he's very, very, obviously he's going to be set as the one. Remember, he did win the Heisman. He's an amazing wide receiver. And I think being a 1 there in Philly next year with what has been going on so far is going to be a huge change to his value. If I'm anyone in Dynasty right now, I would try and go and buy him. I could see him. As I said, if AJ Brown doesn't get moved, he's going to stay solid at where he's at kind of around wide receiver 26, 29. He won't move from much from there if AJ Brown's not moved. But if he is, I could easily see him going into the top 15 going into next year. So
where'd you say he's at? Devonta Smith, where's he at right now?
Wide receiver 26, 29 in that range. That's where I'm. That's
this is the definition of the wild card, because I think wide receiver 15 if there's no AJ Brown. Also, Dallas Goedert's probably out of town, and they will bring another tight end. But Dallas Goedert is so important in the red zone for them.
He's hoarding
And also
touchdowns last year.
the tush push is probably gone. I know it was ineffective anyway this year, but like all those things, we like Devontae Smith. He's never actually been given the chance to be a number one. And I don't know if he necessarily comps as that in terms of physicality wise, but like look at JSN. He's not the most physical receiver, and that dude just dominated. Maybe they could use Devonta Smith in some type of creative packages for once in his career. Man, that's a really good one I overlooked, and that is money right now. If you can go out there and trade for Devonta Smith, and you know I was mentioning how he's kind of soft and small. He's never been hurt. He rarely gets hurt. So he's pretty durable. He's still, how old is he? 26, Devonta Smith?
He is 27. He's going to be 27. He's 27 season. But then again, you know, yeah, he's still got 4, 5, 6 years, I think, on his dynasty, like at least value wise.
Check out this comment. So inspiring seeing people with Down syndrome streaming together. Keep it up, guys. Hey, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Oh, I want to say a lot of things to you, but I'm gonna keep it a little PC. Yeah, fuck yourself. How's that? Fuck your fat face. Have fun in your parents' basements, whoever you are. Anyways, appreciate the comment. Thanks for tuning in. All right, my first name. You're gonna love this one, man. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. Where do you think he's ranked?
On my list.
Do you have him on your list, or you were thinking about him?
He was a guy that was on my list. He's around QB 21. Is where somewhere around there.
I have just quarterback 20. Kyler Murray again. I don't like Kyler Murray. I don't think Kyler Murray is very good, but I know he's very good in fantasy relative to his actual talent, right? And he's finished out in points per game. He's finished outside the top 12 one time in his career, and that was this past year, 2025. So he is always a top, he's never really a top 5 quarterback. I think he was top 5 twice early in his career when he ran more. But the fact that he's never, with health, he's never outside the top 12, and now he's quarterback 20, that's a lot to do with the uncertainty that he has. I get that. I'm going to give you some names of the teams that are potential. So would you agree that he's not going to be playing on the Cardinals this year? What do you think the chances are that he comes back to the Cardinals?
25%. I think it's pretty low. I think there is a chance of him still coming back. I know they fire the coach and stuff like that. And I mean, they clean house with the coaching staff, but are they also going to clean house with that contract that he has? We'll have to see.
Here's the teams: Jets, Vikings, Dolphins, Steelers, Browns. So we got to kind of like hash this out who he's most likely to go to and where would be the best spot. So I'm of the belief that I don't care where he goes if it's quarterback 20, because he will beat that value for sure. He will beat quarterback 20 just based on his skill set. So what do you think the most likely 2 spots are? Is it the Jets and the Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't know what the Browns are going to do. They're always fucking shit up at quarterback. I mean, but then again, we did just see the Jets bring in a mobile quarterback last year, and that didn't work out as well as they hoped it would. But then again, Justin Fields and Kyler Murray are miles different, like skill-wise. So maybe they want to take a shot again, especially if they can get Kyler on a cheaper deal. It's something that you can definitely look at. And then, the Dolphins, I don't even know what's going on over there. It's another, tragedy where you're paying a guy $53 million a year. That's going to probably get moved. And they also had coaching overhaul as well. So, I mean, you could say slightly better version, but passing-wise, I'd say way better than Justin Fields.
Kyler Murray is, as much as I rip on the guy, he's essentially Jalen Hurts is what he is. I mean, look at the numbers, man. The numbers are exactly the same. Kyler throws more picks than Jalen Hurts, but they're both very fraudulent quarterbacks, right? One just has Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl. I'm just saying, Kyler Murray, let's not forget, he's been in the MVP conversation. He's not old. It's more the question for me is motivation for Kyler Murray. Is he motivated? And I think this is the last chance for Kyler Murray as in terms of being the starting quarterback. Someone's going to give him the opportunity. So Jets is not a good spot, although the team has there's a lot of pluses with the Jets. They have a lot of draft capital, right? They have Garrett Wilson. They have Adonai Mitchell, who I like both those guys. The Dolphins, would you like the Jets or the Dolphins for him?
I'd still rather go Jets. Just because
I don't want him to go to a cold weather place, though, because he can't play in fucking weather, dude. That's the biggest problem.
Oh, man.
You know I
really wasn't thinking about that, actually. you want him to play in pristine weather all year long, and the Jets would be. So yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Miami could be the choice, but still, I mean, the Jets will also cold weather will also force him to run the ball more, which would be better for fantasy. But then again, it might turn into the same thing as last year, where everyone knew that you really couldn't throw the ball. And the Jets offensively is horrible, and then whenever they try to run, obviously they knew that they were going to run. So it might turn into something like that again. So yeah, definitely.
You know the
Miami
nice
actually
place?
over
You know, nice place?
Jets.
The Falcons, dude. The Falcons. That's the spot for him.
They're not gonna. Oof. I really don't think they would make that move. I'd be surprised if they did. I mean, it was only Penix's first year starting, so like I think the guy's gotten a lot of criticism. I know he has injuries and stuff like that, injury past. So maybe you want to bring in someone that he can sit behind to study for a year. But like, I mean, I still think they get Penix another year before they try and move on.
But Michael Penix is not going to be healthy to start the year, dude.
Okay, then you play Kirk Cousins, who you're already paying however
They're going
much.
to release
Or
Kirk Cousins. They're going to
you
release Kirk
think?
Cousins, man. They already said it. Yeah.
Oh
He
shoot, I
gone.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not official, but they're going to
But
release him.
still, I
I'm just
mean,
saying, like,
if you buy into Kyler, then Penix comes back, and it's like, okay, now who's going to start? Is it going to be a competition? Is that what Kyler's going to want? Is that what Penix is going to want? Are you going to have unrest in that locker room? I don't know.
I think the move is you trade Penix for Kyler. That's the move. The Cardinals aren't winning this year anyway, right? They're not winning. They have a first-time head coach. They're not winning shit. So you get Penix, who's not coming back until, let's say early to mid part of the season. And then you have your younger quarterback. Obviously, Kyler's time there is done. I just feel like that's a nice spot because they have weapons. They have Bijan. They could run, Kyler with a dynamic back. If they get back to using his feet, could be dangerous. Just food for thought. Who's your second name on the wild card list?
All right, my second name. I need to find I was going with Marvin Harrison. I think this is a guy that could drop off a cliff. Compared to where he's at now. Right now, wide receiver 22. End of last year, the entire last year was brutal. I know he was injured twice. There's a lot of uncertainty at quarterback now. If there is a move of Penix going to Arizona, then honestly, I would love it. I would move him up boards because we saw, Penix loves getting the ball to his number one. We saw with Drake London. But if they bring in, I mean, we have no clue who they could possibly bring in. If it's someone trash or something that we don't like, especially with Petzing being gone, I could definitely see that offense take a rise again and him finish better than wide receiver 15 next year if they end up using it right. But then I can also see the downsides of that of having a bad offense where he doesn't even come close to wide receiver 30.
Also, Michael Wilson is under contract, but would it surprise you if they traded Michael Wilson? Like that, they could get a nice haul. I think they can get a second round pick for him, which is higher than what they drafted him at. And like they don't have room they can't pay Michael Wilson after this year, so they're rolling with Marvin Harrison. They have to. They gave up way too much in draft capital to get this guy, and he's terrible. Matt says, is Tua starting on a team week 1 next year?
I don't think so.
You think Tua stays with the Dolphins? Because if it's not the Dolphins, he's not starting on a team.
Really? I mean, yeah, that's true. The liability with the head injuries, and then also what is Tua going to want to get paid? Yeah, actually, if it isn't for the Dolphins, I don't think it will be for anyone. I think this could be the end of his career. If I'm being honest, I don't know where he's going to go. He's already made his money. He's already made millions. So, just get out and don't mess up your head anymore with another concussion.
Tua's wild. Also, we have the question: is he white? Is he black? We don't even know.
Look at this. This is Laurence Olivier in Othello, and this is James Earl Jones. Now look at how close they look.
Look at that! James Earl Jones doing a great blackface.
James Earl Jones has a black face. He's a black man.
He's not black. James
Of course
Earl
he's
Jones.
black.
He was Darth Vader.
Darth Vader was black?
No,
See? Okay, there we go.
Darth Vader was not black. They took the mask off. He was white.
I love that. We just did Tropic Thunder on Monday, so I put that clip in there for Tropic Thunder because of the whole blackface thing. Gotta love It's Always Sunny. Anyways, do you have any hope for Marvin Harrison, though? I know you said it's more of a negative wild card for you, that he's probably going to go lower than where he's at now. Is there hope that he becomes this number one receiver? And not so much just fantasy, but the number one receiver on a team. And I think Trey McBride being there is always going to kind of nuke his upside a bit just because he's such a target hog.
I mean, it would take a lot, and that's the thing. And it would take an organization that's actually going to do the right things, which have we seen Arizona do that in the past decade? I don't think so. It would take a hell of a lot. There's a lot more things that can go wrong than a lot more things that can go right, and it's more probable that the things go wrong, in my opinion, compared to anything good happening there. So we'll see what happens in his third year.
All right, my number 3, staying with the Cardinals, Trey Benson. This one could go either way for me. He's RB 32 right now in Dynasty, and if they draft somebody, let's say they draft someone in the second round, and he's been on the team for 2 years now, but he got hurt last year when he had the chance, and new regime, he could just kind of fall out of favor and just kind of have the same role he had there with James Conner last year, which is not worth RB 32. If they don't, they have a lot of holes. The Cardinals have a lot of holes. If they don't draft a running back in the first 4 rounds and they go with a late guy, a day 3 running back, Trey Benson, RB 32. He's like 24 years old. Wasn't a crazy major injury. It was an MCL. Dude, Trey Benson should be RB 22 in my mind, and I think that's actually a gift. So Trey Benson I'm more looking at this one as an optimistic buy at RB 32. And I don't see how much lower he could go unless they draft. They're not drafting Jeremiah Love, but they could. That would be stupid. But they have the 9th. Let's see where they have what draft pick they have. I think it's the 10th pick, maybe. This year in the draft.
I think the Rams had
right
10th,
one.
Right?
So they have.
They have 3.
Yeah, they have the 3rd pick. Jesus. I didn't realize they were that fucking bad.
They won't be taking them there.
They could trade down, though. They could trade down and get them.
They could. Well, running back is
Anyways,
not on their cards. I can tell you that much.
No, they need more than that. But they could maybe take one of the guys, 3rd pick in the 2nd round, something like that. Either way, Trey Benson at RB 32, I feel like is free money. You're buying in a guy that is a potential RB1 in fantasy, at least for the near future. And if he does ball out next year, that'll be his 3rd year in the NFL. He's young. That's a young player. And give me that. Jalen Warren is RB 24 in Dynasty. Who do you want, Jalen Warren or Trey Benson? I think I want Trey Benson next year and the age thing. So, all right, who's your next name?
It's another. It's actually a guy that's younger than Benson. We're gonna go to Jacksonville in that backfield. We're gonna go to Bartelt. This is a guy where we're gonna see ETN. Leaving free agency. What are they going to do this offseason? Are they going to bring in another running back? Or are they going to stick with Tootin? This is a guy who's going right now RB 29, and if he's going to be the starter next year, I project that to be at the very least going into next year. If he's the starter, top 20, depending on how he plays, he could be top 15 or top 10 because of how young he still is. He's just 22, so just turned 22. So
yeah, I'm all about Bartelt. If you remember, one of the first Dynasty segments we did about a month ago was undervalued players. And Bartelt was top of the list, man, just because I know it was a rough rookie year. ETN played great. Let's be honest. He played great. And
he played phenomenal.
They're not going to pay ETN, though. There's no way they're going to pay him. He's going to get a lot of money off this year. And I think they realized that look at Bucky Irving, man. Bucky Irving without Liam Cohen was a whole different running back. I know there was injury concerns and all the stuff that happened with him, mental health issues, whatever. But on the field, schematically, Bucky Irving was dominating because all it was Bucky Irving in space. Every play, they're just finding creative ways to get him in space. He was making linebackers and safeties miss. This year was not like that at all. Now, what we saw with ETN years prior, super inefficient, not in space at all, which you need to get that guy in space. This year, Liam Cohen, Travis Etienne running wild. Having games with 3 receiving touchdowns. What are we talking about here? So, now, Bartelt is not quite the dynamic receiver that Etienne is. Bartelt is a much better power runner. Etienne's awful around the goal line, always has been. So you're getting a better goal line back, more sturdy back, and a guy is what I said. I think he is what fantasy gold is made out of. Bayshell Tootin. He's huge. He's fast. He's shifty. He can catch the ball at least above average, I'd say. He's not really running wheel routes out of the backfield. He's also really young. And, LaQuint Allen, they like a lot. I could see them drafting a day 3 player and getting rid of not signing ETN and just going with some random guy for like their RB3. And they go into the season with Tootin, with LaQuint Allen, and then a rando. And I brought this up too, is that Trevor Lawrence is essentially their goal line running back. Another reason they're going to get rid of ETN. No, it's not a ringing endorsement for Bayshell Tootin, but if this offense does what it's supposed to do, he's going to have a lot of opportunities there on the goal line. Dakota has a question for you. What's going on, Chaz? Who should I bet on in Dynasty rookie draft this year?
I was actually doing a couple. I was starting to actually look into wide receivers. I mean, this is going to be, top of the top crop. But if I can grab, if I see, I know there's 3 wide receivers, Tate, Lemon, and Tyson. But if you see Lemon dropping to that 105, 104, 105, if Love and Mendoza go early, I think that's a great value, especially if you can, move up from the 107, 108, 109 up to 105 and grab Lemon. I think he's going to be a star wherever he gets drafted to.
Do you have him as your top guy?
I do. I have him over Tate and Tyson. So, but obviously not the top guy. The top guy is going to be Jeremiah Love overall, but top wide receiver going into next year, rookie wise.
So I just started doing my digging in deep. As you know, I'm not a college football guy, so I am going with a blank slate. And Jordan Tyson is the dude. He's the dude. Now we're talking Dynasty here, which the only concern I have with Jordan Tyson is health concerns. He's been injured every single season he's played, including his 2024. He got injured twice. So it was a collarbone, and he tore his ACL in 2022. So he's had many injuries. Jordan Tyson is the full package. Carnell Tate's good. He's almost a George Pickens level player. That's what I could kind of see on film. He's big. He's not overly fast. He's 4'5", 4.55 guy, but big body, awesome at high point in the ball. He's almost like George Pickens meets Alshon Jeffrey is kind of the comp I'll give you for Carnell Tate. Good comp, good player. He's really pro ready. Lemon is the upside you're talking about is like a St. Brown player. The problem there is he's going to be very dependent on his landing spot because not everyone can utilize a player. Look at how Ladd McConkey disappeared this year as a slot plus player. And Tyson is the best of both worlds, man. This dude is electric, bro. And I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I watched a lot of Jordan Tyson, and it's a much easier gamble for me in redraft this year, taking him in the 6th, depending on where he goes, 6th, 7th round, because I don't care about the injuries, right? If he's out, he's out. If he can't stay healthy, he can't stay healthy. If it's a Ricky Pearsall situation, whatever, it's 1 year. Dynasty's different because you don't want a Ricky Pearsall situation in Dynasty. If you're a Ricky Pearsall owner right now, how are you feeling? Because the dude he hasn't shown any ability to stay healthy. No consistency there.
Yep.
And that's the word with Tyson. But do we know injuries don't always translate? They don't always translate. Sometimes they're fluky, dude.
Yeah. I mean, also then again, with what's going on there in San Francisco with all the injuries this year, we don't know if there's some sort of little conspiracy or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, it is as you said, a lot of Dynasty is always reacting to where players get drafted. But a lot of it also, and especially in rookie drafts, just taking that best player available and making sure, never ever working for needs, always working on I'd much rather have a surplus of wide receivers than have to take a crappy running back over someone that obviously can gain a lot of value going into next year.
What are your thoughts on Kenyon Sadiq? I don't know if you've watched a lot of him. He's the Oregon tight end. Have you watched a lot of him?
I really haven't looked into tight ends. I'm not gonna lie. So I wouldn't.
It's not a good class.
Will Stein product though.
Who?
Will Stein, or the offensive coordinator there that went to Kentucky.
There's not a lot of good tight ends coming out of this draft. This looks gross. Looks really gross. Okay, is it my name? I'm next on the list here for Dynasty Wildcards. I have Jack Betch. You know where he's at wide receiver wise? Where would you guess?
I mean, I could guess that he's probably 40.
Wide receiver 88. Yeah.
Really?
Chet,
Really?
80,
that is not right. That is not right at all.
So it should be an easy buy, easy buy low here with Jack Bash. Like, it's only to the moon. At wide receiver 88 is insane. But here's the reason it could be even lower is if they draft somebody and he just falls out of favor. We see this all the time. Like, I feel like Dante Thornton's going to be that outside speedster, right? The Marquez Valdez-Scantling of that team. And you have Brock Bowers and you have Genty. So if they draft another guy that's going to play that similar position, the Jacoby Myers role, which should be Jack Bash next year, then that's the problem for Jack Bash. He can just be one of those guys that's forgotten about. But if they don't, and they have a lot of holes, they should not be drafting a wide receiver. They're going to be drafting Mendoza number 1 overall, right? They have Bowers, they have Genty. Like, they don't really need – Bowers is their wide receiver 1. We all know that. So they need to reinforce this offensive line and then get some help on the pass rush and help in the secondary. And if they do that and they just leave this draft with like a wide receiver in the 5th round, for instance, Jack Bash is going to be on the field a fuckload. And I like the talent, man. He is one of these scrappy guys. I mean, went to TCU, the curse of the TCU wide receivers, but wide receiver 88, like I could see a world where he goes into next season after the draft and free agency passes, and he is like wide receiver 49, just based on them not bringing anyone in. And, Mendoza, who, if he pans out, if the offense will be better, it can't be any worse. Pete Carroll is a dinosaur, dude. They had a dinosaur calling fucking plays this year, or calling the shots there. So Jack Bash, wide receiver 88, I feel like is insane. Got to look into it. I always liked him too coming out of college because remember how much noise he had early on, like in the best ball season. He was going in like the 10th round of best ball drafts, and like it made no sense. And then like towards the end of drafts, it was all about Dante Thornton, and neither of them did shit. Let's be honest, because no one in the offense did shit. But Jack Bash,
I mean, everyone that got drafted there, had horrible returns. So, especially with a lot of injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, that offense was horrible this year. So,
I like him. I think that's crazy. All right, you have a last name, right? One last name.
Yeah, I got a guy that's. I could honestly see him hopefully getting back to where he was. I'm between 2 names right now, but dynasty wise, I'm thinking either BTJ or AJ Brown. Does AJ Brown get traded this offseason? If he does,
yes.
Would you rather have, if he goes to a place like the Bills? Obviously, we're always thinking great running spots, but we have to think of the adverse as well. Does he go somewhere crappy? Even if he goes somewhere crappy, I still have him better than, dynasty wide receiver 24. He's still an absolute animal, and I think in the right place where he gets his confidence up again, I could see him flourishing. And then obviously BTJ, we saw a huge down year with him. Obviously, even after the injury to Hunter, still wasn't really given that great of numbers. Honestly, finishes like a wide receiver 50, I think, somewhere around there. Could not have been any worse. So looking for a bounce back year. Obviously, we're going to hope William Cohen gets him the ball more.
A couple comments here. I have a feeling AJ Brown's going to the Browns. What do you think about that? Let's think about this. Browns have a lot of draft capital. They made that trade last year. They didn't draft Travis Hunter. They got another extra 1st round pick. They got the Jags 1st round pick. So that could be almost a 1-for-1, right? Like if the Eagles would probably take that pick, right? Let's say it's number 23. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. Pick number 23 in the NFL draft. Would they do that right now for this year and then just draft another wide receiver? Because the Browns have nothing, bro. They have Harold Fannin. They have Jerry Jeudy. They have Cedric Tillman. Like, they have nothing at wide receiver. Terrible. And if they're going to roll with Shedeur Sanders, they better give him someone to throw the ball to, like a veteran, right? And like Jerry Jeudy was supposed to be that. Jerry Jeudy might as well be a fucking rookie. That dude is a knucklehead. So, and also the Eagles are pretty salty at AJ Brown right now, I'm sure, the coaches, and like I wouldn't you be? So that's a nice little like fuck you to AJ Brown. Hey, you know what? You hated it here. You want the ball, but you want to win. You want it all. Have fun in Cleveland, motherfucker. Bad franchise, bad city, like just a shitty situation.
I will say if he gets traded there, he will be getting 15 targets a game because that is, I mean, he would really be the only asset there. And, sure, gets in trouble, who can you throw it up to? AJ Brown. So, obviously, I would hate that landing spot because obviously he'd be getting draped every single time. And obviously with that O-line and how we saw Shedeur get pressured last year and what he did with that, if he's a starting quarterback again, that would be horrible, man. A horrible pick.
Dakota, I think we were talking about real life, like the Browns trading their first rounder. He says if you trade a number 1 pick for AJ Brown, you should be removed as an owner. Let me know if you're talking about dynasty or real life, because we're talking about AJ Brown's dynasty stock, which ties into where he's going to be traded. I'll say this: would you trade? I wouldn't trade a top 5 pick in the rookie redraft for AJ Brown. But if you're in a win now situation, you have a win now roster. Let's say you have a flex issue, it's PPR. Like, I would trade a back end first round pick for AJ Brown, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at almost moving T Higgins for 105, 106, around that range, and obviously I have T Higgins above AJ Brown. So yeah, I mean, if you can, but AJ Brown's still close in my opinion to T Higgins. So yeah, if you can trade a 107 to a 1012, I would do that in a heartbeat, especially if you need help in your a win now roster. But then again, like I said before, you need to look at your roster construction and really tell yourself, are you one player away, like an AJ Brown type player away from being a contender? And that's something that you need to be truthful with yourself about that before you make a move like that.
Dakota says he's talking about real life. So, yeah, dude, I get it. And this is, what's funny, Dakota? I just saw this. I was watching a video. I don't know what YouTube video it was, but I totally forgot that the Patriots got Randy Moss for a 4th round pick, which is just wild. That was the Raiders doing dumb things. Dude, I feel like the Browns would do it though. Like, what do you think is fair? Like, what do you think the most they can get for him, for AJ Brown? Like, because here's the problem, and it's a good point from Dakota in a way, because the Moss comparison, because Randy Moss was definitely a terrible trade for the Raiders, but Randy Moss essentially tanked his own value by just being like such a little diva and being a little bitch and having bad numbers, right? AJ Brown still put up better numbers than Randy Moss did that year with the Raiders, but AJ Brown is a nincompoop, man. Like, he is literally a crying baby, and he seems like toxic, right? So like, he's tanked his own value. Not to mention he's getting up there in age a bit, and he didn't look great. He looked a little fat this year. Let's be honest. And he dropped some passes. And 2nd rounder.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2nd, 3rd rounder. I really don't think a first will be in play for especially a guy like AJ Brown and his contract. I think that's something that you also need to remember. You're getting the player, but you're also getting a lot of money that's going to go onto your books. So yeah, I'd say late 2nd, early 3rd. I think that's like the max value that they could get out of him. Which honestly, if that's what they want to do, and how we see someone that he likes in the late 2nd, early 3rd, and has a team that's willing to do something like that, I wouldn't mind. If that's what he sold for. I feel like that's about the right price.
Eagles are in trouble, dude. They're in trouble. I mean, the Jalen Hurts problem, like, if he couldn't do it, I know this year they had some issues with offensive play calling. That's what everyone's blaming it on. I don't think it was the issue. I think it was part of the issue, but Jalen Hurts was the issue. And now you're taking away AJ Brown. Like, dude, okay, have fun. Now you're taking away Dallas Goedert, and you're just going to have a 165-pound receiver back there as your number 1, a 1 year older Saquon Barkley. Like, good luck. Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck for by the way, Jalen Hurts. I would have him in this dynasty wildcard conversation, but it can only go down for Jalen Hurts. So there's no, like, it's just going to go down just based on him being terrible. All right, I have 2 names left. So I'm going to give you my spicy name, which I couldn't believe. Malik Willis, quarterback 41, which I mean, that's where you would rank him if he was signed on a team and he was going to be the backup. Like a Mac Jones situation, right? Where it's like, well, he only has value if Brock Purdy gets hurt. Like, dude, Malik Willis is most certainly going to be moved this year and going to be a starter. And I get that it's dynasty and he could flame out. He could pull a Justin Fields and just be awful. He's still a starting quarterback at that age, must be in the top 30 for me. Has to be in the top 30. Not to mention he has the fucking skill set. He has the fantasy skill set we all fucking drool over. Big ass arm, super mobile, super sturdy. So quarterback 41 from Malik Willis. Can you believe that?
I don't believe that at all. I mean, yeah, even right now, I don't think he should be lower than 33, 32, just because, like you said, we know he's going to probably be starting somewhere next year with all the quarterback carousel going around the league. So And then obviously with what we saw in the games that he did play this year, it was amazing. And then yes, as you said as well, he has the fantasy assets where he's very mobile and can throw the ball a little bit. So 41 is just way too high, way too low, and that's it. And what I'm saying.
So I got a list of teams here. Let's kind of hash this out of where he could go. So I have Arizona. I kind of put this in likelihood he goes to these places: Arizona, Cleveland, Dolphins, Jets, Colts, Steelers. So I feel like Arizona is a perfect spot, although they have Jacoby Brissett. Cleveland's, we don't know what the hell they want to do. We know Todd Monken's there now, and he does like his dual threat quarterbacks. And unfortunately, he thinks Shedeur Sanders is faster than he is. Shedeur Sanders is not a dual threat quarterback. Dolphins, if they get rid of Tua. Jets have no quarterback, and there's no one to draft this year. They don't have the number 1 pick. They don't have a draft. And then the Colts, kind of an X factor there with Daniel Jones coming off an Achilles. And then the Steelers, there's a Aaron Rodgers question right now with McCarthy being there. I feel like
McCarthy being there, I feel like he might come back. But then again,
probably going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Going to do. Yeah.
And we're not going to. The thing is, we're not going to know, and like he's going to put them in a precarious situation like he did last year. Last year, I think they knew he was coming back. He just didn't want to go to OTAs. Brett Favre thing. They always do this. But this year, they need to make a decision because they can't have him. Like Aaron Rodgers, I love the guy. He played well last year. He is not worth waiting on. You know what I mean? It's like the girl, like that you have this other girl, but like this chick's kind of fat and older. Like, do you really want to wait on this chick when you could just go with the younger option that's the same? You know what I mean? Like, give me the younger option that's the same instead of waiting and getting neither of them. There's a chance you get neither of them if you wait on Aaron Rodgers. So what's the best location there for him? Regardless of like odds he goes to these places, which is the best for his fantasy and long-term outlook? Arizona, Cleveland, Dolphins, Jets. Give you those 4. Arizona, Cleveland, Dolphins, Jets.
Oh, you were saying those 4. I was saying if he's the starter all year, like this is what I'm thinking. But obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Jones. I know it's not any of the teams that you said, but I was thinking the Colts. I mean, you had almost I wouldn't say identical, but a quarterback this year in Daniel Jones who could run the ball, could also throw the ball. We've seen that with Malik Willis, and then you also have the factor of that good O-line with Jonathan Taylor being there. I think that's honestly one of the better spots that he'd go to is the Colts if he's going to be a starter there all year.
What about the other 4 names, though? Jets, again, I hate it. I hate the franchise. They have a lot of capital, and they have 2 good receivers. 1 really good receiver that's proven, and then, a couple other names. Dolphins only have Jalen Waddle. They're going to release Tyreek Hill, and that's a bad situation. Cleveland, bad, no weapons. Arizona, they got some weapons there. So Arizona or the Jets, which do you prefer? Jets is probably more wide open, like he would be the quarterback. We just saw this with Justin Fields, though, go really, really badly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Arizona. As you said, we've already seen it go badly with Justin Fields. What's going to make it say that, it'll be better this time around? So I'm going to go Arizona. They're already, bona fide tight end 1. You have a rising, hopefully a rising guy in Marvin Harrison, as well as Michael Wilson there. So you have the pieces. Now, obviously, you just kind of got to put it together with in any year where the Cardinals really need to kind of get something going.
All right, my last name, Isaiah Likely, tight end 23. He's gone. He's not coming back to Baltimore. It's all but a done deal. Could go. There's a lot of interesting places here. Let me list you some names here. And there's a chance he could be lower than tight end 23 is why I have been here, but most likely he'd go higher. Commanders, Zach Ertz is pretty much gone, like for his career. He's not coming back. They apparently do not like Ben Sinnott. They don't like him. I don't know why. I like Ben Sinnott. They don't like him. Chiefs, if Kelsey retires. The Giants, although they have Theo Johnson, that could be, he could reunite with Harbaugh there. That's the reason I have the Giants on this list. Falcons, Kyle Pitts is probably going to be gone in free agency. And then the Vikings, there's a lot of sneaky talk about TJ Hawkinson being released because they would save $17 million in the cap if they release Hawkinson.
So
and he was bad. He's not even that old. Hawkinson's like 29, but he might as well be 35. Like he looks worse than Mark Andrews, bro.
Yeah, and especially with the injuries that he's had as well. But that actually really, you could see it evidently. It really took a toll on his body. So, that's definitely one of the spots you could go to.
The Commanders, I feel like, is the best spot. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. A lot of, especially an offense that's going to be moving. We know hopefully Jane Daniels is fully healthy next year, I mean, he knows how to move an offense. Yeah, I think that would be the optimal spot for him. But there are, as you said, there are other spots that you can go to where his value will go down.
Did you see the rumor that the Commanders are interested in Brandon Ayuk? So they're just going to keep on just taking the carousel of all the Niners receivers that flame out?
And the thing is that it'll never work. It'll never work. I don't know why they're trying to do that. The only thing would be if they're trying to reunite Daniels and Ayuk because of the college days. But then again, like Ayuk's just such a head case. I wouldn't want to do that at all.
You know where Brandon Ayuk's going to go?
No.
This team tried to trade for Brandon Ayuk. We're really close to getting Brandon Ayuk before he signed that deal. The Steelers, dude. That makes a lot of sense. They need somebody.
That is true. And they don't mind
Like,
actually a little bit of head case, especially with trading for DK Metcalf. We've already seen that. So
well, usually,
see it.
the story of the Steelers receivers are they go crazy after they leave Pittsburgh. Now they're going to reverse it and bring in a guy that's already crazy. And maybe they can have some type of like fountain of youth, like, something for his brain, because Brandon Ayuk has clearly lost his goddamn mind. What a fucking idiot, by the way. Brandon Ayuk. Can we shout out how dumb this dude is? Because all he had to do was just communicate with the team and he would have gotten paid his full amount. He's not going to make any of that guaranteed money he signed for. And we all know he was not worth the money in the first place. Brandon Ayuk is a fine player. He's also a system wide receiver with Kyle Shanahan. And, like, he cost himself so much money. Brandon Ayuk, you're a fucking moron.
I brought a little bottle of spermicidal lube, too.
And one little bottle of spermicidal lube?
Yeah, one little bottle of spermicidal lube.
Evan, that's psycho shit, man.
It's not.
It's like Charles Manson shit. What do you think Becca's gonna be psyched that you brought a bottle of lube? Oh, Evan, thank you for bringing that lube for my pussy. I never would have been able to handle your fucking 4-inch dick inside my pussy without that gigantic bottle of lube.
He got fucked without lube. That's what he did to himself. He took a giant, like a baseball bat, and shoved it up his ass without lube. He thought it would work. He thought it would feel good. It didn't feel good. And Brandon Ayuk, you're a clown.
Yeah, and the worst part is that I hate seeing something like that happen, because obviously when I first started this, playing Dynasty, he was a guy coming out that I was like, man, should I try and get this guy? I tried trading for him multiple times before all this stuff, and because he looked great, and he's a great wide receiver, and then sitting out and then getting injured, and then now with what's going on with him this past year, just completely tanked his value, and it sucks to be an owner of him. I'm not an owner, but anyone who does, if they're watching it, it's just been completely the worst case possible with Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, man. He's going to be playing for about $2 million next year, and that's going to be hilarious. All right, I'm going to hit you guys with the intro. 44 minutes in the show, we hit you intro, and then I'll get to all your questions after this. Also, I'm going to reveal my Super Bowl prop bets, and Chaz is going to go through those and see what he thinks about them. Did you get that Mike Vrabel reference there?
The Headless Horseman? I did not get that. I was wondering why you put that in there.
So 7 years ago, when he was with the Titans, I think it was 7 years ago, he said he'd cut off his dick if they won the Super Bowl. Now he's in the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that offer still stands, but he was on record saying that. So, the question is, is he going to cut off his dick? And we don't know. We don't know. Here it is.
Would you cut your dick off for a Super Bowl?
Oh, been married 20 years. Yeah, probably.
You've got 3.
As a player. I guess I'll be married for 20 years one day.
Would you?
You won't need it.
If you came home holding a bag of ice, and Jen was like, "Oh, honey,"
always saying that you want to cut off your penis.
Okay.
I mean, for 25 years, I've been a slave to my peen. It rules over my brain and makes me do dumb stuff. All I can think about every day is what time's my next come. And to tell you the truth, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of living come to come. So yeah, guys, I mean, I want it gone. I want my gone.
Kickoff for a Dynasty championship?
No. No.
What about
No,
what about
league-
$100 million?
Now that might be where you get me.
See, you're too young though. Like you're gonna lose some prime years of your cock. Like I'm 37. I'm married. That was the Mike Vrabel point. Is like I'm already married. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm not a heartbeat. I love my dick. Okay, I love touching my dick. I love having it touched. $100 million. Yeah, I could fund this show. This operation would really get a little upgrade if I had $100 million. The thing is, I would still do the show. You know what I'm saying? I would still do it for free. Yeah, I'd probably do it. Why the hell?
Me, it's more of a decision. But honestly, I honestly still think so. That's a lot, man.
I think so as well. All right, we'll get to my bets here in a second. Give us a second on the questions, boys. We'll get to all of them. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing. That's a good song. Here's Helen Hunt. Say hello to Helen. She's looking great today. She looks great. She had her makeup on this one. No makeup here. This is Helen in the morning. We don't like Helen in the morning.
Straight out of bed.
Want to shout out to the Patreon army here. Appreciate you guys. We love you. Chaz is trying to look at all the names here. Yeah, they're all very, very nice gentlemen. We appreciate you guys. Good way to support the channel. On top of just supporting the channel, you get a lot of good stuff. Access to the Discord community. It's the place to be. Community fantasy leagues. We have speaking of Dynasty, Chaz, we have 2 spots left for our Dynasty league. The draft's going to be sometime in May. We're going to get everything together in March, including all the rules, the platform, all that. We vote on all that kind of shit, as well as 5 or 6 redraft leagues in August. We're going to be throwing together. So guest appearances on the pod. You want to sit in the spot here where Chaz is sitting, or between me and Chaz. Talk Dynasty, talk fantasy, talk cutting your dick off, whatever the hell you want to talk about. We're in for that kind of stuff. Free merchandise giveaways, boys. Right, the shirts are on their way. Going to have the shirts as well as these awesome hats here. I send out one of these every single month. If you get in the professional tier, why not? And the biggest perk of all, and here we're gonna go. Our bets right here. Professionalfanatics.com is how you get to the Patreon, and I'll get you in the Discord to support the channel. So this is let me get this banner off here. All right, so 204 and 123 all time in the show, 95 and 56 this year on these props, all even odds. So the biggest perk of all of joining the Patreon, getting the Discord, is getting access to these bets in a timely manner. I drop them with tickets. A screenshot the ticket as I place the bet. You can place the bet within 20 seconds. Put your notifications on in the bet tab, and then you get these. So to make sure you don't get the odds don't change. So I bet these about over a week ago, right when the lines dropped. Anyways, we'll go through them here. Kenneth Walker over 99.5 total yards. He needs 100 yards to beat this bet. Hunter Henry over 37.5 receiving yards. And then we have this wonky one. It's plus 120. It's on FanDuel only. It's a FanDuel special. Both quarterbacks, so Sam Darnold and Drake May, 15-plus passing yards in each quarter. That's plus 120. They just need 15 yards in each quarter, plus 120. Those are the 3 plays. I might add a 4th. I don't know. I was thinking about doing 5, so I have a chance to go 156. I don't want to get greedy. That's not how I operate. I don't do things just to do things. I want to actually make money. So I'll take 2 and 1. 2 and 1 would make me 97 and 57, which would be plus 40. That would be about plus 34 units. And the thing is, I put 5 units. I do 5 units on all these. So I'm up like 160 units.
Jeez.
So give me your takes, man. What do you think about all these plays? I know the Pats have a great run defense. I think it's overrated based on the numbers, but it's total yards for Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I mean that was honestly one of the ones you said it right away. Obviously, you heard me when I said the Hunter Henry one. I honestly really like that one a lot. You said it was 37 yards.
37.5.
So I know they have a great pass defense, but I think
vulnerable against tight ends.
Yes, vulnerable, and you got to think, big game. Now is the time where you start hitting up your big guys, especially a guy like Hunter Henry, who was making plays for them all year long. So God. So what was it? And then the 15 passing per for each
It's on the
quarterback.
screen.
I honestly love that. I love that one. So
It's down to plus 100 now. So it was plus 120. It got bet pretty hard. I bet it right when I saw it, right when it dropped. But
yeah, I mean, you love seeing that
it's
kind of
wonky,
movement.
man. It's wonky, but it seems too easy. It really, if the game is close, it's an automatic.
Yep. Yeah, that would just be the one bad thing is if you're in the fourth quarter and it's kind of a little bit of a blowout. Obviously that winning team's not going to really be throwing the ball and carrying all that much unless the team starts coming back a little bit. But then again, if it's Seahawks, their defense is going to be locked down at that point. So it's something we'll see.
The upside is in the Super Bowl, you see teams not take things lightly, right? Like if they have a lead. Now, sometimes throwing isn't the best thing. Talk to Kyle Shanahan, that 28-3 debacle there against the Patriots. But, you know, you're going to want to really force the issue, right? Don't just run the ball 3 times and punt. Like, you're more likely to try to really keep the ball and not even give the other team a chance. So I feel like Sam Darnold's earned the trust of this coaching staff. Drake May, I'm not worried about. I feel like the Patriots are going to lose. And I'm curious to see. I'm going to do a little segment here for the Super Bowl preview on Saturday night with all of my guests on the show. We've had 9 guests or so. I'm gonna text you guys, and me and Nico are doing the show, but I'm gonna get everyone's Super Bowl pick, and we're gonna put it on the screen, right? And I wonder if any of the 9 of us are gonna pick the Patriots, because I haven't heard anyone picking the Patriots in this game. It's quite scary because it's only a 4.5-point line, Chaz. So like they act like this is like David versus Goliath, and like I get it. Seahawks are super hot. You know, Darnold's playing well, but like, is it really that lopsided of a game? I think we've seen more lopsided games, right? At least on paper.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, honestly, especially with the playoff league that we have, I will be leaning the Patriots. And this I do know. I did say earlier, I think I said Seahawks were going to win last week.
Yeah.
I think I said Seahawks were going to win by a touchdown. I think I'm flipping that proposition, more so to obviously help myself. Obviously, I want to win that playoff league, but also with how many people are just saying that for sure Seattle's going to win. It's like no, like I think it's getting to that point where I'm going to have to go to the Patriots because man, they're acting like it's a for sure win for the Seahawks, which. I can see that playing out, but it's not going to be for sure. So give me the Patriots.
Yeah, I would definitely, man. If I was to bet the Patriots, I wouldn't bet Patriots plus 4.5. I would do like an alt line, kind of what I did with Denver. I would do like Patriots minus 2.5, and that would be like a plus 220 bet because you know this Seattle defense is so opportunistic, and I could see a close game where Drake May throws a pick 6 at the end of the game, something like that. Where the game is closer than the final score indicates, something like that. Where you know how these Super Bowls go, man. Like teams do crazy shit, and you know if a guy has a chance, let's say it's the last play of the game, the lateral drill, and the guy gets the ball, you're supposed to just like fall on it. Guys are done in the Super Bowl, like Leon Lett. They will just run it in. You know what I mean? So I haven't heard a single person picking the Patriots, and it's quite scary. It is very scary.
Yep.
What is your?
I would hate being a Seahawks money line. I would hate having that as a bet that I've already placed in. If someone already placed that.
What is your favorite bet of these 3? Ken Walker over 99.5, Hunter Henry over 37.5, or the quarterbacks both having 15 yards in each quarter passing?
I like the last one. Both quarterbacks. I mean, you need a lot in order for that not to happen, in my opinion. I mean, a lot. So, as you said, you know, teams always try throughout the game in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So you're going to have both teams trying. I think it'd be very hard for that not to happen, especially if the line's also moving down a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Chaz. Again, professionalfanatics.com if you want to support the channel and get access to these bets. We made you guys a lot of money this year. I made myself a lot of money. That's how I pay my rents, is gambling on the show, and mostly on gambling because the show has ticked down precipitously just based on the season being over. Not a lot of people are watching. A lot of ways to support your boys. Super chat, whatever you guys got to do. Keep this show going strong, boys, because next year we're starting right now with Dynasty stuff every Wednesday, Dynasty. And then we're going to do a lot of stuff in the combine, free agency, the NFL draft. And once the NFL draft's over, I go full bore, May on. Every one of my best ball drafts on live stream. All my 25 redrafts I do. My wife's 10 or 11 leagues she does. I stream about 35 drafts on here. The best information is actual information, right? Like ADPs are one thing. How about you watch like a $500 draft? You see where people are actually taking these players. For me, that's my only ADP I pay attention to, because I don't know how valid the ADP is on Yahoo. Like, I don't trust the leagues. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust. There's free leagues on there, dude. There's morons on there drafting kickers in the 5th round. Like, fuck that. That's not real ADP. I want to watch real high stakes leagues, and I feel like a $500 league. And believe it or not, Chaz, I see a lot of dumb shit in the $500 leagues, and people have a lot of money. They don't give a fuck, and that's fine. That's cool. I like it because
it just helps you.
Free money for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. Jonathan, playoff fantasy about to come down to the wire. Excited for the Dynasty. Damn straight, Jonathan. Shout out Jonathan, a Patreon member, as well as Dakota. Appreciate you. Wally as well. Jonathan has a good chance. He has all the Seattle players. You have all the Patriots players. Big Ray's going to get third. Me and Storey aren't even getting the money. Now, there's a chance we can get the money because we have AJ Barner. We have Travion Henderson, who sucks fucking dick, by the way, if you saw the intro. I fucking hate Travion Henderson. But we have some players going. It's just Travion Henderson is going to end up scoring 15 PPR points in 4 games. That's 3.8 per week.
Wait, hold on. Is there a prize? There's a prize for this?
For what?
The league?
Yeah, you didn't pay me because you're a fucking moron, but yes.
I didn't even know there was a pay. Whoa. I was
$100 buy-in, bro.
Oh shoot. Okay, then I'll make sure to send you that. I honestly didn't even know.
Why would you send it to me now? You're already in the money. Don't send it to me now.
Well, now it makes me look like a dick.
It's fine.
I was going to ask you.
I was going to cover you. I was going to cover you. I knew you were going to pay me. Either way, you got to tip your bartender when you win.
I'll definitely tip the bartender, because I was going to ask you, but I didn't know for sure. And I was looking through our text and I didn't see anything. So I thought we were just doing wow. Holy crap.
You can take care of the $30 fee I had to pay.
Holy crap.
Can you believe that stupid site charges $30 to run that fucking site? $30 for that fucking site. There's no sites.
So what? I'm either going to get like, what are the
No, it's $30 total.
It's
$30 total. I don't know. The first place is like, we voted on it. $600. 631 is what we voted on. Chaz just got Christmas
I'll
presents.
cover it. I'll cover it. I'll cover that $30. What I'm gonna get? Is there just in the second place? Probably gonna get like 200, 300.
300 for second place. So you're getting first or second.
I'll cover that. All
right.
For you.
TB, chances Max Crosby leaves the Raiders to Seattle. It's not going to be to Seattle because it's going to be to the Cowboys or the Bears. I feel like those 2 teams. What do you think? Chaz still can't believe he's going to make money on a league that was free. Chaz, you think I would ever run a free fantasy league? Bro.
No, because
you're talking. I'm a degenerate.
I was like, man, like, is this for free? Like, what are we doing? I did not even know. So,
dude, I would never even play a $100 fantasy league, but it's for the community, and like people didn't want to play that much money. Like I play like $250 minimum, like, but this is for the community. Like you gotta play like I would never play a free fantasy league, dude. Like that's like taking a girl on a date just like get to know her personality. Like no, I'm not gonna take you on a date to talk to you. Okay?
With our fans and the people that run it.
Yeah, and then fans are also cool people that aren't pussies. I sent you everything. You don't look at things. Anyway, Max Crosby, Raiders, Seattle.
Because I was looking at
leaving the Raiders. Chances Max Crosby leaves the Raiders. I'm going to say fucking 80%, dude.
I think it's 100%. I think 100%. I think he's gone. I think the Raiders are going to try and get whatever they can for him. And, I mean, they should. Honestly, I know you talked about how earlier they're going to need more pass rushing. But honestly, I think he's disgruntled with the organization and he wants to win. I think he's going to go to a win now spot. I would gladly take him in Chicago.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys make more sense. They have more draft capital than we do. I guess that's the thing.
Yeah, honestly, and that Michael Parsons trade would be pretty good actually. I mean, it was already pretty good. After what happened to Micah, obviously never predict injuries or anything like that. But now the Packers are stuck with, we'll see. Obviously, he should be ready for next year, but this year they kind of had to throw it away because of injuries. And then obviously if they can go and get a guy like Crosby, I think that would help that defense out a lot. obviously there are going to be changes. They already made changes with what's his name? Eberflus move? Didn't they fire him?
Yeah, Eberflus is probably going to be coaching in the CFL next year, is my guess.
He should be. He's a terrible coach in all aspects. An actual head coach, defensive coordinator, all those terrible. So
he's a fucking turd. He's a fucking turd.
Hey, you ever accidentally masturbate to young pictures of your mom?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
That's Eberflus for you. Wally's a Giants Vikings fan. Said watched a 45-minute documentary on the 98 Vikings. It was 2 years before my time. Damn, Wally's a young man. But fucking A, that hurt to watch. That's way before your time too. That was Randy Moss's rookie year. It was Randall Cunningham, I believe. Hell of a team. And who was it? Gary Anderson, I think, was their kicker. He was old too. Gary Anderson, I remember he had the single bar across his helmet, the old kicker, single bar.
Oh my gosh.
That's how old it was. And he missed it was like a 30-yarder, dude. Dakota says, well, I watched in real time. Gary didn't miss a kick all year. I think it was Gary Anderson. I think it was like a 30-yarder, bro, in the playoffs. And they had, I think, they might have had the best offense ever, like at that time. I think the greatest show on turf was 99. That was the St. Louis team with Kurt Warner. So they passed up the 98 Vikings, but like they're a top 5 all-time offense. And Randy Moss rookie year, I think he had 15 touchdowns. So this is what Randy Moss does. Dakota calls the if Pittsburgh gets Ayuk, the Divas show, DK and Ayuk. You know what? I don't feel like DK is that much of a diva. I feel like he's just a psycho. You know what I mean? I feel like diva gets thrown around. Like he's not really a diva. He just has like no self-control and he fights people. He doesn't really bitch about not getting the ball, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. It's more so just like working money and stuff.
Yeah. TB, shout out TB. What's going on, man? Nathaniel Hackett, such a bad hire by the Cardinals. Not sure who's worse, him or Arthur Smith. Nathaniel Hackett's definitely worse. That dude has Down syndrome. Like, for real, has Down syndrome. And I wish I had a clip, man. Fuck, we just said Tropic Thunder, and I had the full R word on here, and I don't have it. God damn it. Nathaniel Hackett, awful.
Al Jolson and the jazz singer.
How is that not racist to you?
Okay, this is a terrible example of blackface. This guy isn't even trying to look like a real person.
Well, he almost got the mouth right. See, that's what I'm saying about the lips.
The lips are the most offensive part. Look, the guy is bugging his eyes out like a cartoon character. Okay, this is racist as shit.
All blackface is racist, Mac, and that is the point I'm trying to make. You just cannot cast a white man as a black man and paint his face black. You can't do it.
You cannot cast Nathaniel Hackett as an offensive coordinator. You just can't do it. And you know what's wild is Nathaniel Hackett was forever like kind of paired to Aaron Rodgers, right? Just like that guy. He was just like Aaron Rodgers loved him, and he's terrible. I think Rodgers likes him because Rodgers runs his own offense, and Nathaniel Hackett's like a whipping boy. The problem is there's no quarterback there in Arizona that's going to take charge like that. Nathaniel Hackett's going to actually be an offensive coordinator, and he's bad. He's fucking terrible. So like, what are they doing there? And they have LaFleur now as their head coach. Is that Matt LaFleur's brother?
I mean,
I don't know if it is. I hope it is. I don't know.
Think so. I don't even know, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, I hear Hackett and Arthur Smith, and I just want to go like just vomit in my toilet. Like that's how bad those names are for any organization. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals. So, oof. Seattle wins.
Todd says Seattle wins. I mean, that's everyone's sentiment. He says, I don't see how the Pats wide receivers get open versus Seattle's back end. That is the challenge because the Pats, you know, as much as they upgraded this year from last year with Drake May's rookie year, it's still not great. Keyshawn Boutte is a pretty underrated player. Stephon Diggs is savvy. And, you know, they have the rotating cast of Matt Collins and Kyle Williams. But that's why I made my bet. That's why I made the Hunter Henry bet, 37.5 yards. Just because someone has to step up, and I feel like tight end is the most viable option. And, you know, Ramondre Stevenson's capable. They're a team that takes away receivers anyway. So the way to beat them is the ground and pound, man. That's the way to beat them. And Drake May extending plays, right? That's the upside. And that's the scary part about everyone going all in on the Seahawks is that Drake May is a wild card, man, and he can move around. He can make big plays downfield. He's awesome in the deep ball. And he can extend plays, and if he can run for first down, he can get that run. A 3rd and 9, he can extend the play and run it for 12 yards.
Yep.
So he can actually run it for 30 yards in that play. We've seen that multiple times this postseason. But it comes down to me, it's Sam Darnold, right? If Sam Darnold has a B- game, they win. Yep. A little above average, right? Now, what is your confidence level he does that?
Patriots. Go Patriots.
You just
confidence level. I did not even know, man. That's great. Wow. Okay. Back to the thing you said, confidence level about can Sam Darnold play in the big game? I'm gonna say yes. I think he's over it. Obviously, I want the Pats to win, but we saw him 2 games in a row last year in the big game get kind of stumped, and then we saw him this year perform in those big games. We saw him come back against the Rams earlier in the year at home. We saw obviously him play extremely well. Well, I mean, it wasn't even. He should be able to get them over the hump. Is what I'm saying. I don't think he'll be 3 interception, 4 interception Sam Darnold.
Well, his big game, I think the bigger game, this is what I said when it happened, the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl, in my mind. Look at how everyone's picking Seattle now. Those are the 2 best teams in the league. That was the division rival he had played 2 times prior, and both games came down to the wire. Beyond come down to the wire. One was a 2-point conversion. The other one was a last-second field goal. In a game, he threw fucking 3 picks. So Sam Darnold is over that hump. So I feel like the pressure's off Sam Darnold at this point because he already exceeded everyone's expectation. I mean, the expectations, they were a 7-win team in preseason. Like, that was their over-under in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
no one believed in this team. No one believed in Darnold. So he's already past that. It's more about just can he execute? And, dude, Kubiak, obviously he got the head coaching job there. I like the situation there with the Raiders with Kubiak. Kubiak's legit. And what he's doing with JSN, money. So they can keep it up. Keep it up. Pat's -2 is +220. Pat's money line is +188. That's not really that much value. Is not worth doing the +220, right?
I wouldn't say so. It's a 30-point change. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be more like +225 to like +180. At that point, like that could make a decent difference.
Yeah.
I'll take the money line in this situation. So good call. Jonathan says he still has Ramondre and Matt Collins, not just Seattle. Ooh, because he has Sam Darnold and JSN.
Yeah, I think for sure. I was looking at it just now. I think I'm being your team for sure. Unless they give Trevion.
No, we're out. We're not even getting top 3. We're not even getting top 3. Trevion Henderson gave us over, and he fucked us raw, dude. That's what he did.
I mean, it's really going to be about what the Patriots are able to do offensively, and then obviously for Jonathan, Big Ray, one of them has Walker in Seattle. So if it's a heavy run game, and obviously the Patriots don't do anything offensively, Big Ray will be most likely taken at home. But if the Patriots can do something offensively, put up 21, 24 points, unless Jonathan, obviously with Darnold and Smith and Jigba, if those guys go for 2 touchdowns, then I might be in some trouble. But I think if the Patriots score 21 points, they're probably winning it. Unless it's all rushing. If it's all rushing.
What do you think about the over-under? So it opened at 46.5. It's down to like 44.5 right now, maybe 45.5. But I'm digging the under in this one. I know I hate betting unders. I'm not betting it. I'm just saying, like, I could see like a really low scoring game. Like Jason, which was pretty funny. He called 10-7, which I actually didn't. It sounds crazy, but it didn't seem that crazy to me. 10-7. Like it's wild to say, but Patriots defense is playing really fucking good. And I could see kind of just like a stalemate where both teams don't want to make the mistake, and it just becomes a sloggy ass game, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But then again, we've also seen it all year long with the Patriots and their ability to create huge plays pretty consistently. So I think that's the one thing that might be. So are they gonna look to limit that? Or are they gonna look to take down from what they've done well all year in the regular season in order to try and go win a Super Bowl and be safe? I don't think so, but we'll see.
You think the Patriots are going to kick to Shaheed? I'm talking kickoffs. Are they going to kick Shaheed in kickoffs?
I don't
So
think
they're just going to
should.
give him the ball on the 35.
God, I always forget that's 35. Honestly, yes.
I know. I mean,
their defense is playing so well. I honestly, I feel like they're going to test it out the first time. And I think that's going to be fine, but I think it's going to be more so. Oh man, 35 every time. I'm going to switch my answer to no. I think they're just going to take their chances every time.
Because that's what the Rams did. That's what a lot of teams have done with Shaheed. And shout out to the front office there in Seattle making this trade. And Shaheed hasn't had the most impact offensively, right? It's because they haven't utilized him. They don't need him. But the fact that the special teams they already had a great unit with Myers and in the coverage units. But man, Shaheed has just changed the dynamic. Like, they're a scary team to kick to punt to. And with this team being so defensive centric, to have the major edge in special teams every single week with Shaheed. And like you saw the game, the second game against the Rams, that was the only reason they won that game. They were down by 16 points and Shaheed returns a punt, right? Like, he won them that game. That's essentially, that's the reason they had the bye. And it's hard to argue. Like, if you don't get the bye, the NFC I know was pretty weak, but like, are they in the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things matter, and a lot of small things matter. In this case, beating the Rams there, getting the game at home, Seattle's home field advantage, which is, some teams it's a big advantage. For Seattle, it's everything. It's everything, and they got that home field throughout. And what a great trade.
Just thinking about it, I mean, if they didn't get the bye, they would have had to come to Chicago, and that's another thing of. There was some fluke shit going on in Chicago this playoffs. I mean, we saw it in both games that were already played there. That could be a tough game, especially going on the road in that kind of snow thing. And then also that, I mean, as you said, even if they win that game, then you're going to have to go on the road most likely again to, whoever's hosting that NFC Championship. So, just winning that game, coming back against the Ram, really set him up for that 1 seed, and then obviously able to carry that to throughout the playoffs.
Can we just shit on the Bills for a little bit now? I'm thinking about it right now, just in my head, like how they just keep on fucking Josh Allen over. They fire McDermott because it was his fault, apparently. They had every chance in the world to trade for a wide receiver, and Shaheed did not. It wasn't a big price to pick him up, and Shaheed obviously improves your special teams a lot, but Shaheed still they were to utilize him more in the pass game than what Seattle did. But dude, Jacoby Myers could have been got for pretty cheap, man. And we're talking a whole different story in my mind. If you get the Bills, you get Josh Allen just one weapon instead of throwing to Brandon Cooks and fucking Keon Coleman. They also knew Keon Coleman was a problem because they benched him before the trade deadline. They knew they couldn't count on Keon Coleman. And instead of making a trade, they bring in Brandon Cooks, which, they should have done, made a trade and bring in Brandon Cooks. We'd be talking about the Bills in the Super Bowl right now, honestly. And the fact they promoted their GM, and gave their offensive coordinator the head coach job. What is going on here with the Bills? Because that was just so easy. I wanted to get Chris Olave. I wanted a splash because Josh Allen, I know they think they have a forever window with this guy, but eventually the guy will get hurt and actually hurt. We have to miss games. That's never happened because he's a fucking badass. At some point, Josh Allen's going to get frustrated and say, fuck this. Why am I playing through a broken foot for these fucking idiots? He does it for the fans. We all know the Bills have great fans, but who gives a fuck about the fans when the fucking coaches and the front office are just shitting in your face, dude? Make the trade. Who cares? Make the trade. Gross.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description. I think they have to just go and get a bona fide stud this offseason, and that's why I've been predicting ever since the trade deadline. I don't think Dallas can re-sign Pickens. I think that's and obviously this isn't a trade, but it's more so a signing. I know they're tight on money, but I think they have to try and make something work. Free up money at this point to go get a bona fide stud.
They're franchise tagging Pickens, man. They're gonna do it.
Do you know how much of a head case that's gonna be for Jerry? I mean,
Jerry doesn't think about these things.
Jerry wouldn't care. I know Jerry wouldn't care, but man, I would hate if that happened. I know that's probably the most likely thing because of how good a wide receiver is. I mean, what isn't the franchise tag going to be like? What, like $28 or $28 million this year? What is that?
Oh, it's like 34 million for the franchise.
But that's still high end.
No, you might be right. You might be right. I think it's like high 20s. You're right there. But I think what he would fetch in free agency would be low to mid 30s per year, just based on the market, right?
Yeah.
Like DK,
Yeah.
I think DK makes like DK and Sutton both make high 20s or 30.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they're older than Pickens.
T. Higgins makes 30, I think, right? So, looking at that, like he's definitely going to get more than 30. I would say.
Scott, shout out Scott, a professional fanatic on the Patreon. Appreciate you. Scott got his hat. He got a hat. Anyone that's a fanatic on the Patreon gets a free fucking hat. Drake May, that's all. That reminds me of that's a Peter Griffin statement. What does he say? Penis. That's all. I'm trying to remember what exactly he says. It's something along those lines.
Drake May. I need Drake May.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. This is private property. What are you doing?
Just taking it all in.
You're staring at my daughter's bedroom.
She's really grown into her body. This is going to be a fun summer for her.
Oh boy.
You know, you're getting the freshest clips, and I've had those on there forever. Some of them I can't come to delete. I know I've played them fucking ad nauseum on the show, but I can't get rid of that clip. It's fucking epic. I only have 50 I can have on there, but like that's one of my favorite fucking Family Guy clips. It's just so random. It's so Family Guy, right? Just taking it all in, staring at my daughter's bedroom. Yeah, she's really grown into herself. It's gonna be a fun summer. Essentially he's applying to the guy that your daughter's gonna get railed out, right? Like, so on top of like being a peeping Tom and being a pedo, he's talking about the 14-year-old daughter getting fucking fucked by dudes. Like, just such a Family Guy moment. We love Family Guy around here. So,
oh, Family Guy.
Taj says, pass defense gives up plays in the air. Seattle Seahawks will make big plays. I can see Darnold having a multiple TD game. That's what he does, man. And I think that we all kind of forgot how elite he was playing, right? Because Darnold was playing elite the first 8 weeks of the season, and they kind of just didn't need him. They kind of just, not that it went away from him, but it was just more the running game got on track a little bit more. And they had some of these games where there was defensive touchdown, short field, right? Special teams touchdown, things like that, where Darnold's numbers, he started turning the ball over a little bit. But what a bargain. Again, we say this all the time. If Wally's still in here, we're sorry. The Vikings have to be sick to their fucking stomach. Just sick to their stomach, dude, of what could have been. And, now they have JJ McCarthy, so that's pretty awesome.
Go from
do you have hope for JJ?
To missing the playoffs. I want to, but I really don't think so. I think his confidence is just shot. I mean, with everything that happened with his bad play, and then I don't know if you saw during the season where he was like, I got this alter ego 9, and then everyone was clowning him for that, and it was. I think it's going to be very hard for him to dig himself out of that hole.
Good call from Dakota. Seahawks just won in Niner Stadium, home of Super Bowl in Week 18. It wasn't just a win; they won. They gave up 3 points. Now it was to a pretty depleted Niners team, but this is what my joke I make to all the Eagles fans is that the Eagles literally lost to a team that you saw their season just kind of come to a halt there. And let's not forget that what he mentioned, Week 18, they scored 3 points against the Seahawks, and they barely scored any points against the Seahawks in the semifinal game, or the divisional round game. So the Eagles, that was I gotta give it. I shout out to my boy Hastings on the show, which he called this. He said his most confident pick of the wild card round was the Niners, and they were +5. He was saying just flat out most confident, even over the Rams, against the Panthers.
I mean, man, yeah, I still don't know how the Eagles lost that game, especially with Kittle going down. Like that was really the point where it was like, okay, like it should have been a non-negotiable. It's a must-win because how do you lose it? And then they still ended up losing it. So
they lost to Kyle Shanahan, man. It was the trick play, right? It was Kyle Shanahan is such a good coach, and Nick Sirianni is awful. That's about, and Jalen Hurts is just a dude. So like, and their defense just didn't show up. Dakota says in the Bills' defense, they got him Diggs, and Allen couldn't get along with him. They were really close with Diggs, and I love Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs is not a true number one receiver. Is that a crazy statement to make? I don't think he's a true number one receiver.
I honestly don't think that's that crazy of a statement to make. It really all depends on how you look at him. But yeah, I mean, if you look at his build, I wouldn't say I'd say he's close to it. I wouldn't say like a true one though. No.
He's fine. He's good. He's a Hall of Famer, probably a Hall of Famer, right? He might need the Super Bowl, but like Super Bowls don't matter as much for position players, dude. If he could play 3 more years and put up these numbers, he has like, you know what kind of goes along with having good numbers is, you know, winning, and he's done a lot of winning everywhere he's gone, even on Houston. And then it's iconic moments, and he is home to one of the most iconic moments. Take you back about 9 years to his last year in Minnesota, or second to last year in Minnesota. The Saints losing another really, really rough game. That catch, dude. Oh my God. That was an all-time moment.
Yep.
The Saints should have so many more Super Bowl appearances. You know what I mean? Like, there's just that was so rough. I don't know.
They got screwed so many years. So many years they got screwed. Drew Brees, should have more accolades in that department of Super Bowl appearances.
Dakota he's a notorious Josh Allen hater. Dakota, what did he says? I mean, Diggs got Vikings and Keenum to the NFC title game. Now as the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, he doesn't have him in the Super Bowl. He's part of it, but it's not really because of it. Diggs helped. What I just want to know, like, what did Allen fuck your wife? Like, what? Like, Dakota, you gotta tell me, what did he do? Because like, we are on this channel, we're big. Most of us, at least, especially me, big Hurts haters. And that's just eye test, right? We're like, Josh Allen. Yes, he has faltered in the playoffs, but like Lamar has faltered in the playoffs because Lamar sucks. Lamar he has a pretty much an even touchdown to turnover ratio in his career in the playoffs. Josh Allen had 18 straight touchdowns without a turnover before that Denver game. He's had some perfect playoff games where he's lost. Like, it's not on him, man. It's not been on him. And the eye test beyond that, the eye test in Josh Allen is. And I have no reason. I'm not a Bills fan. Like I don't own Josh Allen a lot in fantasy because I don't draft high quarterbacks. So I have no like real reason to like love the dude besides the fact that I respect him. The fact he never misses game. I think he's a fucking warrior. I think he's never had Joe Brady's not a good coordinator. His offensive line's usually better against the blocking for the run than the pass. So like, what does he really have? It's mostly he's a one-man team. Am I crazy? Like, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league, right, Chaz? Or am I nuts?
He's been the best for the last 4 years, I'd say, unless you want to give Patrick Mahomes just because of
it's Mahomes or him. But Mahomes has the accolades, right?
I mean, like but that's also counting accolades. I talk about what's on the field. It's got to be Allen, obviously. So I think that's why everyone in the league has so much respect for him. And the one thing that I hate is, everyone's always saying that, he gets babied by the media and stuff like that. But it's also because they know that he works with nothing. He pretty much works for nothing, and he carries his team to either a division title. Obviously, they didn't have that this year, but then he carries them in the playoffs as well, and he plays extremely well in the playoffs, which not a lot of quarterbacks are able to do. As you just said, 18 straight touchdowns without a turnover. That's like, that counts for so much in my books, and it definitely counts in everyone else's book. So I just hate seeing it. Hate seeing him not win.
Do you remember that since like week 11, I was saying, since the original injury happened, he got injured like week 10. That wasn't really documented. And then week 16 against the Browns where he hurt his foot. But I was saying the entire year, I was like, and that's why I was trepidatious about the betting on the Bills and picking the Bills in the first game against the Jaguars. I was like, Josh Allen, watching that game against the Eagles week 17 was very apparent. Josh Allen has broken bones. And I said bones pearl. I thought it was more his hand. I thought his hand was for sure broken. a broken bone in his wrist or his hand, but his foot, and he does have a broken bone in his foot. Like he played half the year with a
He
broken
doesn't
bone in his
care, man.
foot.
He does everything for them, and for that franchise to still treat him like the office, the front office. Obviously, we know the fans are great. Obviously, they're going to get a new stadium, but just overall, what the guys they surround him with is terrible.
Coda says Josh Allen is great, but certain guys just don't get it done when it matters. Manning and Rodgers also struggled to get it done when it mattered. I will say this: Peyton Manning ran into Tom Brady. That was a Tom Brady situation, and Peyton Manning had a couple playoff games where he threw a lot of picks. I will say this about Peyton Manning. And again, as you know, if you've watched the show enough, I think Peyton Manning's a second or third best. I think he's a third best quarterback. I put Aaron Rodgers too, as in terms of eye tests I've ever watched play. I don't like Peyton Manning. I'm telling you, Peyton Manning's a steroid user. He also had a sexual assault on his resume in Tennessee where he shoved his nutsack in a female trainer's face. Bottom line, Peyton Manning's probably a fine guy. Unfortunately, he gets propped up and he's this golden boy. Guess what? He's a cheater that should not be in the Hall of Fame because Barry Bonds is in the Hall of Fame, so fuck that. Cheater, HGH. That whole run with the fucking Broncos was on HGH. As far as I'm concerned, he cheated, which is not. It's not even how. As far as I'm concerned, I'm telling you, it's the same thing as Barry Bonds, and the sexual assault thing. That's even worse than Deshaun Watson. All he did was get jerked off, getting massages, like shoving your nuts in someone's face, bro. That's something else. Regardless of that, I can separate the art from the artist. Aaron Rodgers had a lot of really rough coaching situations in terms of. Remember when Matt LaFleur went for the fucking field goal up down 8? That wasn't his call. Like they were on the 7-yard line. Like now to go against Aaron Rodgers, he should have ran that ball in the end zone. He would have got it down to like the 1-yard line. But where do you rank those guys? I know you're really young, and so you're not going to have a guy like John Elway up there just because you didn't watch him play, or Joe Montana for 4 rings, right? So where do you have these guys?
I hate saying this, but I have Rodgers, and this is coming from someone who's younger, but I have Rodgers as actually just behind Brady and Mahomes in my tiers. I think Rodgers is.
You already have Mahomes ahead of Rodgers?
Yes.
I can't.
Mahomes went to like 7 or 8 straight AFC championships. I know he did lose to Tom Brady. Actually, he lost to Tom Brady when it mattered, but that's almost won 3 in a row. He went to the Super Bowl like 4 to 5 times in a 6-year period. I mean that means so much in my book, and obviously I know guys like Aaron Rodgers haven't been able to get that done because of coaching mistakes or defensive things. I mean, we saw defense blow up against I don't know if you remember that game against Tampa Bay when they had some defensive struggles there. I mean, there was that it wasn't like a last second halftime touchdown that was just absolutely brutal that the Packers gave up. Yes. It's not completely Rodgers' fault, but when I'm looking at accolades wise, and I see 3 Super Bowl rings, always in the AFC Championship game, always in the Super Bowl, that's gotta mean something. And especially his first year, I mean his numbers throughout those years. I mean, obviously before Bieniemy left in 2022, 2021, he was putting up 40 plus touchdowns a year, and then obviously he's still just 30. So I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff. I think we're going to see him be more successful in the future, which
he will pass him. He will pass him, but he's not there yet. Let's not.
I think he's there. I think he's there completely.
All right. Dakota says 3 TDs, no picks, and a 3 and out to win the game is not a winner. And I will give Dakota a little bit of props in this comment because it's a really good comment, because Josh Allen has had the ball, it's 3 or 4 times, specifically twice against the Chiefs. And he does not score, right? So he is like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 getting the ball and having game-winning drives that he did not score. That could be an argument. I'll give you that with Josh Allen. My argument, he should never even had this team in that spot, and definitely should never even had this team in the overtime period because his team sucks. Taj says Breeze is better than Rodgers all time, in my opinion. See, I can't do that, dude. Aaron Rodgers has the eye test. He has the stats. The stats and eye tests are both like Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback I've ever seen. And again, Tom Brady has the accolades aren't even. The accolades are not even close. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. There is no debating that because he has everything, right? The stats, the health, longevity, championships. Eye test wise, Aaron Rodgers is the best I've ever seen play the position. And that's saying a lot because I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. I mean, I'm just saying eye test wise, like, you know, having Andy Reid is awesome. And then, man, having Bill Belichick, that marriage again, Bill Belichick flipping the roster, being the defensive mastermind. You don't know what ever talks about Bill Belichick is how awesome he was in the Giants as a coordinator. He won 2 Super Bowls as a coordinator with the Giants. The Giants. I know it's not our Giants that we were familiar with.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's an elite NFL mind, dude.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was looking it up the other day because obviously there's always the roar of, you know, him not getting into the Hall of Fame and then, you know, not being a first ballot. So I'm like, okay, like I need to like go see everything. And yeah, he won with the Giants as well. Like it still pisses me off not knowing that he did not get in the first ballot. But yeah, I mean the two complement each other, Brady and Belichick. It wasn't just
Dakota says, yes, Peyton is garbage. It has the most one and dones in playoff history. He lost the Rivers in back-to-back playoffs. A counter to that is Peyton Manning led a lot of bad teams to the playoffs because how good he was. That defense, he never had a good defense. And when I say he's garbage, I think Peyton Manning on a personal level is not the choir boy that everyone says. Professionally, Peyton Manning was a coach in the field, and he's definitely on the Mountain Rushmore of quarterbacks. I don't think we can really debate that one. Now, if you want to take away his Denver era because of the steroids, you can do that because he's the only quarterback we know that did take steroids. Now, I'm sure other guys did. You know, they did. I'm sure a lot of players are doing steroids. It's not like baseball where like you can assume everyone's on steroids. In the NFL, I don't assume. I feel like they are, but there's been no scandals. There's no Mitchell reports. There's none of this shit. So, again, not a fan of Peyton Manning as a human. Again, I'm a worse dude than Peyton Manning. Unfortunately, I'm not held up to this esteem, and I don't have the whatever the show is, the Eli and that. Do you like that, by the way, the Peyton and Eli thing, Monday Night Football?
I do, just because I think it brings in viewers that don't know as much. Because you know they always break down what's going on. And so, like, I know one thing my grandpa always tells me is, you know, whenever I see him, we're talking football, he always brings up the Manning cast. And he's like, yes, they bring out great guests. They love talking ball. They love breaking things down. And that's something that he really likes about it. So it's entertainment for people who don't know the game as well and don't want to just watch the normal broadcast. So, I mean, I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I want to watch the normal broadcast, but I know some people, especially my grandpa, like to watch the Manicast. So I can see both sides of it.
Chaz, is your grandpa like 55? Because I could be your dad. You know that, right?
No, he's like low 70s.
I could be your father, just so you know. I had sex before you were born.
I know. If
what's your mom's name
that
again?
Would have been interesting. Michelle.
Michelle, yeah, Michelle. That was her, dude. She was at the bar one night, and you know she was probably like low 30s.
Dude, you were
at the time.
Dude, you were like 16, 15.
And I was 14. At the bar at a fake ID. Your mom was there. Very nice performance.
Very nice performance. Very nice and clean performance. Very, very, very nice. Which one of these talented entertainers, who I am not attracted to at all, will be the winner?
I'm just fucking with you, Chaz. You know what? If I ever did have sex with your mother, I'd wear a condom. Okay, I'd be respectful. Not when I was 16. I'm just kidding. What year were you born again?
04.
Oh yeah, I was definitely boning then.
Wow, aren't you like 38?
I'm be 38 in a couple months.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah. CD says go Hawks. Let me know if you approve that comment, guys, in the chat. I'd be a good dad to you, Chaz. Your dad's probably pretty awesome, but I'd be pretty awesome too.
No, I think my dad is definitely better.
Fuck you. I'm kidding. Your dad seems like a great guy. I met your dad. Remember I met your dad?
Yes, I know you
Shake
had
his
that
hand. I
when
shake
took him
everyone's
out to
hand. I have a good
golf,
handshake. My dad instilled that in me. A good handshake, eye contact. If I know someone more, I give him a hug. I do the whole like hug thing.
Yeah. I mean, I took my dad out there and he's like, who's that guy? He's being a boss. I'm like, that is my boss. And then, met each other, said thank you for because I always tell them about you when I work with you. So it was always
you
something.
hopefully didn't tell him the stories I told you.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely did not tell him some of the stories.
Now I'm your boss again, baby. You're my employee that I don't pay. It's pretty awesome. Pretty good deal I get.
It's great. Yeah.
One day, apparently you're making money in the fantasy league. So did you say something against Montana? Chaz brother watched the Montana film. They used to kill quarterbacks in the 80s. Yes, they did. They really did kill quarterbacks in the 80s. I mean, Joe Montana is so hard to evaluate just because it's the Jerry Rice factor, man. Jerry Rice is the greatest football player, like not wide receiver, greatest football player of all time. He is Wayne Gretzky, dude. He is so fucking good. Bill Walsh was unreal. Like, so not taking anything away, Joe Montana. Like that situation of the most progressive coach, like he had the Andy Reid in the 80s. He had a mind like that. He had Kyle Shanahan, like that was way ahead of the time, and Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I mean the one thing because. I remember looking past. I'm like, okay, like I just want to see like how good Jerry was, and like this dude was in his 30s, entire 30s, putting up. What would be wide receiver one, like a top 12 fantasy wide receiver seasons back then?
Way less. 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns probably.
You think? No, I thought he was putting up. 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns.
No, he was. I'm saying a
catches.
top 12 wide receiver back then would have been way less than what a top 12 wide receiver is now because the passing numbers are way lower.
Wait, yeah, yeah. I'm saying like, yeah, he was putting up wide receiver one production all the time, and then even numbers wise, you could put him probably top 24, or top 36 in his mid 30s doing this. So. Just the longevity. I thought that was one of the things. What did he play until he was like? Gosh,
41 or 42?
41. I was gonna say 43, but
yeah, it was crazy, and he was actually still balling out when he was like 39 or 40.
Yep.
Brady, Montana, Manning, Mahomes, Elway, Rodgers, Drew Brees. I'm not putting. I know Elway has 3 rings. I don't value rings as much. Man, yeah. That's what I love about this conversation is, it kind of goes back to the old school. This is even before my time of like the bar debates, right? Where there was no internet and people just had they were much less educated debates because there was nothing really to point on. You couldn't just pull up your phone and say, this is, at least the stats on the matter. But the quarterback thing is just such a touchy one because I feel like NBA is more cut and dry. Baseball is definitely more cut and dry, more individual game. There's so many more coaching matters so much in the NFL. What's around you matters so much in the NFL that like the quarterback conversation is just like, it's what do you value, right? And I guess my thing with Rodgers is eye test. I value fucking Rodgers' eye test. And again, as a Bears fan, he just raped our ass for so many fucking years, dude. So many years. I think you're muted. Did my headset go out? I don't know what's going on. Mahomes is already better than Rodgers. He's only behind Peyton and Brady. Well, there goes Chaz. Dakota says, Rob, you could have coached Lawrence Taylor and won. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor was a fucking monster, dude. Yeah, okay, it wasn't me. Good thing. Thank you, Chaz. Lawrence Taylor, man, some of the Lawrence Taylor stories are fucking wild, dude. I don't know exactly the story, but I know one game he came in late. Yeah, we got you now. Lawrence Taylor missed the game. He was partying all night. He missed the first half of a game, all fucked up on coke. Came in and they let him play the second half, no suspension or anything, and he fucking got 2 sacks. Lawrence Taylor, what a fucking wild. We got. Can we get a Lawrence Taylor documentary
of that? where like he'd be like, yeah, I'd be playing off of whatever drugs. And I'm just like, wow, like if that kind of stuff was going on today, he would have been crucified out of the league in 2 seconds.
Well,
But it was
Josh
just a way
Gordon
different time.
was
Yeah, he
crucified
was.
out of the
Yeah,
league just
we've
for
already
weed.
seen it. It was just for
Just
weed.
for
Now
weed,
we're
bro.
doing what LT says he was doing during the games or playing on
I
during
wish
those
I had the
games.
Stephen A. Smith. I wish I had the Stephen A. Smith. Stay off the weed.
Suppose Nancy sees me coming out of the shower and decides to come on to me. I'm looking good. I've got a luscious V of hair going from my chest pubes down to my ball fro. And she takes one look at me and she goes, "Oh my God, I've had the old bull, now I want the young calf." And she grabs me by the wiener. Shut the fuck up!
Kevin, real quick, man. They didn't put Belichick in on the first ballot. So like Bill Belichick is most certainly a Hall of Famer in the second, next year. Tom Brady is a first ballot no matter what, just because he is so far and away better. Although my boy Barry Bonds still not in the Hall of Fame. Baseball is a little different. They're more curmudgeons. But you saw Robert Kraft also was not a first ballot. Like Robert Kraft has been to he bought the team in like 88. So when I was born, he's been to 12 Super Bowls in 37 years. And like, he's the best owner. Okay. You can say that he got, that jerk off thing at the massage parlor. That was Robert Kraft. Dude, there was an old guy trying to get tugged off. Like, whoop-de-fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, Jerry Jones has had multiple scandals, and Jerry Jones is a piece of shit. So, like, Robert Kraft is a great owner. From all accounts, his franchise he runs, the players, it's family. He's well-respected, well-liked. And that's even wilder because, like, he's an old dude. You think he knew about the Deflategate? Like, Belichick knew about it. You think fucking Robert Kraft knew about this shit? I don't.
But also, the thing is, like, to be able to go leave them, come out of retirement, go to Tampa Bay, and then win another one, especially against Patrick Mahomes. And then in that dominating of a game that they had against the Chiefs, I mean, that's what cemented him as the first ballot. No matter what, obviously they might want to punish him like they did Belichick if he didn't do anything after that. But because he left, won another one, cemented himself as like for sure nobody will be better. That's just who he is.
So that kind of makes a point to where like why Belichick wasn't like the same thing with Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft's going to get in the second. It's just silly. Dakota says Montana already won 2 Super Bowls before Rice showed up. Is that accurate?
Is that accurate? Let me check.
You a stat check there. I know Jerry Rice's rookie year was 85, and I'm pretty sure Joe Montana's rookie year was like 79. So did he win between 79 and 85? GT says NBA more cut and dry. MJ GOAT. GT, who's your second? Who's second on your all-time list there, buddy? Is it? I bet you're a Kobe guy. I'm guessing you're a Kobe guy. Or actually, GT's from fucking Texas, so maybe he's a. Are you gonna say Tim Duncan? You a Tim Duncan guy?
All right, so
he said Tim Duncan. I knew he said. I knew it. How did I know that? I knew he said Tim Duncan. Come on.
So he had 1 Super Bowl before because he won in 82. Oh wait, no, actually, yeah, he had 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls. Because obviously he won in 85. Then they drafted Jerry Rice. I'm assuming that's what.
No, 85 was his first year, so they won his rookie year then. Because they went in 85.
Well, yeah, they say he drafted him. Let me see.
Because he wasn't a high draft pick.
Yeah, it was 16th overall to the Niners. Yeah, you won 82.
So that means they didn't win 84. Yeah, okay. So they won 1. Is it 1 then? Hey, that's more than I thought. Again, you live and learn, man. Again, I don't know everything. Definitely not shit before I was born. I try to be a historian, but there's only so much this brain that's been saturated with marijuana and LSD can handle. All my past discrepancies. Again, I'm also a guy I commit when I'm wrong, and that would be kind of maybe I got to reevaluate my Joe Montana take. If it was 1, it's still something. If it was 2, then it's major stuff, because I think 1 is one thing. Winning 2, which is more than Aaron Rodgers has in his career, yeah, that's something. GT, Tim Duncan over LeBron or Kobe? I don't know, man. I love Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's top 5.
Yeah, Tim Duncan's go, but he's not better than Kobe.
All right,
And when I
Dakota
say Kobe, I
says
mean basketball player or not.
2 Super Bowls before Rice. I'll bet $10K on it. So he must be very confident in this one. If that's the case, then I have to reevaluate my my Joe Montana hate. I don't think I was hating on Joe Montana. I just wow, that's leader. Yeah, quiet leader for Tim Duncan. I love Tim Duncan, but I can't put. I punish bigs a little bit, even though like they're the, typically the most dominant players, right? The NBA was run by bigs forever until the Jordan era, and then it became wings and guards. But I can respect it. Kobe versus Tim for number 2. GT says, but Kobe versus Tim for number 2 is Muhammad versus McLovin. Man, the hate on LeBron is just crazy.
I was between that and Muhammad. Why the fuck would it be between that and Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for one.
Taj says Lawrence Taylor and Michael Irving definitely had powder behavior. They on the Mount Rushmore of snow, to be honest. Well, let's not forget Michael Irvin also stabbed his teammate in the neck during a haircut, a barber visit. So that's attempted murder. That's also like a beyond a felony. And then Michael Irvin should have 3 felonies. He should be in jail for life. Again, I'm not one that like putting everyone away for shit like that, but like, come on, like he had a fucking moon rock of crack, and he somehow got out of that one. But the stabbing a guy in the neck, that's something. Nowadays, you go to jail for punching somebody.
Yeah, nowadays you go to jail for a lot worse, or a lot less behavior. But I mean, dude, also, I don't know if you've seen clips of Irvin when he was at that Miami game. I mean, he had to have been on something, right?
No, Michael Irvin, I think, is just that guy. No, I don't think he is. He just always has that. He's just fucking out of his mind, dude. Like, he's just always super high strung. Like, I don't think he'd been dead by now if he was still smoking rocks, bro. Like, he's old, dude. Like, you can't just casually smoke rocks for 30 years. Maybe he can, but
maybe not,
I've never smoked rocks, but
maybe something less.
Maybe. Yeah, he's probably on Adderall or something. But yeah, he's always just fucking tweaking on something, dude. He's wild. Montana. So I'm gonna stat check that one, but I do believe you, Dakota. The Kobe thing. Where do you stand? I know you're not a big NBA guy. Well, you're not like an NBA historian because you're like 12 years old. But is LeBron number 2?
Yeah. He's 2. One of the main things for me was just watching that M-Day documentary when it was coming out during COVID. I'd sit down with my dad and we watch it every whatever night it came out, and it was just like the way literally everyone in the league talks about him, even the huge guys that they faced, and just how everyone feared but also respected him. Just puts him above LeBron for me. And then also LeBron has had some really bad losing series. I mean, losing to Dirk. That was bad.
That's bad. One. That's one.
And then losing to didn't he also lose to? Well, yeah. I mean, yes, he did make 10 NBA Finals row. He does have that 3-1 comeback, and obviously that Cavs team probably should not have been in the finals. But the thing that I also vouch for is if that team was in the West, like if they had to go through, the Rockets team that ended up losing to the Warriors, some of those teams like that,
I get it. They
the Thunder.
Jordan had the same thing. Jordan had a really easy East all those years.
Yeah,
the difference is Jordan won all those championships.
Yeah, but yes, the thing is, Jordan will go in there and win. But then again, at the start of his career, Jordan did not have easy teams to go through. He was getting bounced by, wasn't it that really good Celtics team? They were
also the Pistons. Do you know how many? Quick trivia for you. How many playoff series wins does Jordan have without Scottie Pippen?
Oh, that's got to be not that much. I'm gonna go without Pippen, I'm gonna go 2 or 3.
0. Yeah.
0.
0. 0. I don't know, man. Because I had was it with Dakota? I don't know if it was with you, Dakota, but it was somebody that was just saying Scottie Pippen's trash. And like, I don't know. I'm not a biggest Scottie Pippen fan. He's an all-time player. I think Scottie Pippen's in my teens. He's in the top 20 all-time players for me. Just because, the rings, defense, he's a 12-time All-Star, 10-time All-Star, like 10 or 12-time all-defensive team. Like, he was the point guard of that team. He only averaged 16 points or maybe 19 for his career or something like that. Doesn't matter. Scottie Pippen was the set I just gave you. I know it was a tougher East back then. Jordan had 0 playoff victories, playoff series wins without Scottie Pippen. That says something to me.
Oof. That does. But what I will say is we saw basketball is obviously a team game, and you can't always win with just 1, maybe 2 guys. You need a full team. That's what I'll say. So obviously that's why especially that 3-1 comeback was so special for LeBron, because you could say that obviously that team was definitely not as good as, especially how good the Warriors that year were. Wasn't that a team? That was a team that won 71 games, 72 games, right?
All those Warriors teams were all time. The Kevin Durant edition was all time, but let's not forget the teams before that. Andre Iguodala was a role player. Andre Iguodala, it was a borderline Hall of Fame talent that would average 23, 24 points a game. Maybe I'm a little exaggerating that. At least 20. He was a perennial 20 a game scorer. He was like a poor man Scottie Pippen, is what Andre Iguodala was. Andrew Bogut was a former number 1 overall pick with the Cavs. Or it was the Bucks. I think it was the Bucks. They had good talent around Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. So those teams, the Spurs teams, again, the Spurs were that weird situation of they didn't really you could say LeBron formed his super teams. Popovich, probably the best basketball. He was the Bill Belichick of the NBA. And they just, Tony Parker, Ginobili, and then the back half of Tim Duncan's career, you got fucking prime Kawhi Leonard, young Kawhi Leonard, who they got for free in a draft day trade. It was insane. He was a 17th pick, I think, out of San Diego State. So they were a super team. They were a super team. And they didn't create the super team like LeBron did, right? But now that's just the NBA these days, dude. Good luck. Look at what Kevin Durant did with the Suns. They couldn't even win a playoff series with Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. It's hard to win the NBA now, man. It's really hard to win the NBA now.
Well, also another thing is how quickly we see superstars get moved. I don't think we're going to see that many superstars that are going to be on one team for, obviously you're going to have Ant, who's going to be there for a while. You're going to have Joker, but you see so many superstars, especially in the NBA nowadays, move off the teams that drafted them, move off of, guys just aren't staying with one team for that many years anymore.
GT, just real quick for all the LeBron hate about him moving teams. If that's the case, then we have to consider Kevin Durant a bum, because Kevin Durant has 2 rings and they were free rings. He essentially was along for the ride, and he had super team in OKC to start his career. He's since gone to a bunch of different spots. He's done way worse things than LeBron. And Kevin Durant, for my money, is a top 5 scorer of all time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the guy's
people consider him, and people consider him a top 10, top 15 player of all time. If you're gonna have LeBron as number 5, then you got to push Kevin Durant down below 25, because it's not even close in my opinion, because what he did is way worse. And Kevin Durant's not a two-way player. He's a fine defender, I guess. He's okay at facilitating the ball, but it's not even close in terms of total basketball acumen. Not even close. If you watch the game, LeBron can do everything on the floor. I love Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the definition of soft on social media. He's a baby. I'm just saying, Kevin Durant's a softie, bro. I love Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant is nowhere near the player LeBron James is. It's not even close. But he will be considered a top 10 player when it's all said and done, right?
Yep.
I can't stand by with that. If that's the case, then we cannot have LeBron at 5 and Kevin Durant at 10. LeBron's 2, and then Kobe and Duncan and Larry and Wilt and Kareem and like the different era players, Magic, you know, they didn't have longevity though. Like, dude, Larry Bird did not play very long. Like, I know he had back issues. I don't care what the reasons were. Like, Larry played, I want to say 13 seasons. Pretty short, dude. Like, CD says Larry Legend GOAT. He was good. That's what I love about these conversations. Is there's no like these all-time debates. It's literally all opinions. There's not like really any metric you can use, because you can use stats, you can use championships, but like it's more, what do you value? What matters to you, right? And also there's a lot of sentimental value too, right? Of players that you grew up watching, players that meant something to you, and like that's kind of different than, like, obviously we're not going to have guys like Pete Maravich in our list.
Probably not.
All right, Chaz, I'll finish out the comments. You hit your 2-hour mark. You got to finish college and not
yeah, I got some things I do need to finish up before I go to bed tonight. So thanks
you're
for
probably
having
gonna
me
masturbate too, right?
Hopefully, I mean, it seems like hopefully I'm gonna be winning some money. I cannot even believe that wow. That's amazing me. I'll be for sure obviously hoping that the Patriots do some really good stuff offensively on Sunday, but if not, it is what it is. But thanks for having me on. I'll see you guys next week.
I got a clip for you before you leave.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
All right, buddy.
Oh boy. All right. See you, Rob. Thanks, guys.
See ya. I'll finish out the show. All right, where are we at? Shout out to Chaz. What a nice young gentleman he is. We like him a lot. Both LT and Mike got so much residue up that nose. I'm surprised they have a nose. I'm kind of picturing Michael Jackson in South Park when his nose starts falling apart and everything falls apart because of plastic surgery. In this case, it's because of cocaine.
Yeah.
The U, man. Shout out to Greg Olson for his crazy, very rapey rap. I forget the name of the rap. Someone let me know in the comments what that's called. Where he was Greg Longleg or whatever, Greg Third Leg. We were talking about that the other night in the stream. Watch Montana's 92-yard drive in Super Bowl to beat the Bengals in 89-88 season. I'm going to watch a little more. I've watched a lot of Joe Montana. Four ships, man. And also, let's not forget about Steve Young, who was pretty epic in his own right. Kobe better than Duncan. It's not really close. I would agree with that one. Well, Steph Curry is all time. He didn't actually lose to Curry. He lost to that team. My thing about Steph Curry is Steph Curry could never lead a team as the best, like the only all-star, right? He could never. He doesn't play defense. That's a problem. Kobe beat the most 50-win teams compared to any other player in the league. He also won 3 rings with Shaq, and that was prime Shaq. Shaq was the best player on those teams. So these other guys we have, and people could argue that LeBron, Kyrie Irving was the best player on that team with Cleveland. Like, no, he made the best shot. He made the last shot. He was the best shot maker on that team. He was not the best player on that team. I think we all have seen the Kyrie Irving experience post LeBron. It's not been great. So the fact that Kobe, 3 out of his 5 rings are with him not being the best player on the team is a little bit like Jordan. That would never happen with Jordan. That would never happen with LeBron. That would never happen with Tim Duncan. GT, MJ got his brains beaten in those first 4 years. That is very true. I was just it was more of a Scottie Pippen take about the fact that Jordan had zero playoff series wins before Scottie Pippen. And that was a thing. Taj says MJ a Pippen merchant, to be honest. See, there's middle ground between saying Scottie Pippen's trash and MJ was only needed Pippen to win. Like there's somewhere in between that thing. They needed each other, is the point. They worked very well together, and it sucks that they don't have a relationship now. I don't know. Scottie Pippen is just very, very bitter about everything. And I don't know why, because he does get talked about pretty highly. We're talking about him right fucking now. And Scottie Pippen has 6 rings. Scottie Pippen also got paid. He was the idiot that signed that stupid 6-year, $16 million contract, whatever it was. If you don't know the story, Scottie Pippen's dad is in a wheelchair. He has like multiple siblings because they were from Arkansas. He has like 8 or 9 siblings or some shit. A couple of them were like special needs or like had issues. And like he had to take that contract because he had a kind of degenerative back issue. He needed to take that $16 million, but he was one of the most underpaid players, which is also a big reason the Bulls had those dynasties. They were having Scottie Pippen, a top 10 player in the NBA at that point, at least in that era, right? During that stretch of seasons. And he was like the 60th highest paid player. And then the problem was with fucking Reinsdorf is such a, I don't want to call him a Jew, but he's a Jew. And he's like, once you sign a contract, we don't re-sign you. Like you have to play out that contract, which is kind of stupid because if you really respect Scottie Pippen, you should probably give him some fucking money. And so Scottie Pippen got paid with Portland. He got his paychecks, just not with the Bulls. Dakota is not a Scottie fan. No. I'm not saying Scottie carried Jordan. I think that Scottie doesn't get quite. Maybe he gets fair praise. I think by a lot of people, he doesn't get his due. Maybe that's why he's so salty. I think Scottie Pippen's a Hall of Famer on any situation he goes to, just based on his skill set. And he was a unicorn, man. Scottie Pippen was he was like almost a mini LeBron with the way he played. I think we all agree that KD's a little bitch. Impact versus longevity is more important. I value it all, man. Kareem played at 41 and played 4 years at Kansas. Yeah, they did have a lot on his legs, man. Yeah, it was UCLA. Good call. UCLA. That was the they won 4 straight or whatever. He was like, was Kareem like undefeated in college, or he lost like 2 games in 4 years? Some crazy ass numbers. He was winning MVP when MJ was in the league, and he definitely is the best trash talker. Oh, you're talking about Larry. Yeah. Larry was a great trash talker. All-time trash talker. Best white trash talker of all time. All right, boys. A couple more minutes here, and then tomorrow night, Mike's Storey is going to be on the stream. That is officially the Super Bowl preview with Mike's Storey. And then Friday night off, Saturday night, we're going to have Nick O on the show. Kind of the same kind of deal. You know how we roll it on here. And I'll take a couple days off, and then we'll get to the off-season stuff. So answer a few more questions, a few more comments, and then I am out of here. All right, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central. That is Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central with Mike's Storey. Should be a great show. Hope to see you on there. Again, hit me up in the Discord if you want to talk some more NBA, because it was a good conversation. Leads me to a nice topic I'll have in the offseason. We can do a little NBA kind of all-time ranks discussion, because it's always entertaining. People have a lot of differing opinions. I'm not saying mine's right and yours wrong, or yours is right and mine's wrong. We don't know. I mean, I think Jordan #1 is all time. That is probably the correct take, if there is one. And then after that, it's pretty muddy. I'll tell you LeBron's 2. You can tell me LeBron's 6. That's why sports are awesome. That's why we love it. So appreciate everybody. Love your life. Stay positive. Respect each other. And I will see you guys tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Central Time.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you wanted to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right. If you need me, call.